So I love traveling and I totally love cooking. But to learn food as I travel, that is my ultimate dream. हाँ, पता है मुझे कि लोगों को diamonds, exotic holidays, expensive bags और कपड़ों की चाह रहती है. But I'm very simple that way. Send me off to an exotic location and teach me how to cook, and I am absolutely happy. एक जगह मुझे जाने की बहुत मन है, Brazil. You know, my friend who just came back from Brazil told me that Brazilian food is a mix of what the native tribes cooked and the influence brought in by the immigrants from Europe, Africa and America. आप मानेंगे नहीं, मगर ब्राज़ील में आलू नहीं थे जब तक यूरोप से लोगों ने पोटैटोज लाकर ब्राज़ीलियन मिट्टी में उगाया नहीं. तो चलिए बनाते हैं पाव दे केजू. इंडियन समोसा कैसरोल बनाऊंगी. And मथुरा की गलियों की रानी Thandai Mousse Cake. So today what I'm going to make for you is a recipe that I learned from this friend of mine. It is a very famous traditional bread which is used to be made for coal miners. It's called pão de queijo or Brazilian cheese bread. So for that you need a nice heavy bottomed pan, and into this we're going to be putting some milk, some oil and salt. Now I'm going to wait for this to warm up, but I'm not going to bring it to a boil. It needs to be just very, very hot because I need the tapioca flour to immerse in this and ever so slightly get cooked. So as soon as I see bubbles on the rim of this pan, I'm going to just add our tapioca flour to it. So you have to keep stirring the tapioca flour into the milk and the oil hot mix till it becomes a gluey, glutinous concoction. And then put this into the fridge. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the fridge and wait for it to completely cool down. Lovely. Our tapioca dough is now cold. So I'm going to add some cheese. So we're going to be adding some mozzarella and some parmesan. And now I'm just going to mix this in and bring this all together. We're now going to make our tapioca cheesy balls. So this is ready to go into the oven. This is our Brazilian cheese balls. The original name, of course, is pão de queijo. 180 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes in a preheated oven. So I'm absolutely sure you want to write this recipe down. So do take a quick recap and come right back.
To make pão de queijo, heat 200 ml milk in a pan, add 60 ml vegetable oil and 2 teaspoons salt. Whisk the mixture and simmer it on a low flame. Now add 320-gram tapioca flour and cook it until it turns into a thick glutinous concoction. Remove it in a separate bowl and rest the mixture in a refrigerator for 30 minutes. After it cools down, add 60-gram grated mozzarella and 60-gram grated Parmesan cheese. Mix it all together and make 6-7 medium-sized balls. Place the balls on the baking tray and in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius, bake for 20 to 25 minutes. Your pao de queijo are ready.
कॉलेज में हम क्लासेस स्किप करके सड़क पर समोसा छोले या पानी पूरी खाने जाया करते थे। उन दिनों मैं सफायर्स में फैशन डिज़ाइन कर रही थी, कैफरी एंड टोटली मस्त। उस समय मुझे कैसा पता था कि I would leave design aside, take up modeling, become a dancer, work as a professional VJ for a music channel, do cricket entertainment, and then come back onto television as a chef. How was I to know कि एक दिन उसी समोसा को जो मैं स्ट्रीट फूड जैसे खाती थी, उसी को इंस्पिरेशन मानकर आपके लिए आज इंडियन समोसा कैसरोल बनाऊंगी। Okay, so let's start with the dough. So here we have some maida and we have some gehu or atta or wheat flour. Into this, I'm going to be putting some vegetable oil, some salt. So we're going to start with just mixing these ingredients together. So what I'm doing is shortening the dough right now to make it khasta. Khasta basically means flaky. Though this is going to be a little more heavier because it has gehu ka atta in it, which is also a very, very heavy flour. Well, now that all the oil is kind of gone into this dough, we're going to add some water to it and get it together. So let's just get this together. Okay, now that it's nearly come together, we're going to just put this onto our kitchen tabletop, bring it together, knead it really well. So at this point of time, I'm just going to bring this flour together. So as you see, it's getting a nice smooth texture, and that's what we are looking for. It's just lovely, soft, beautiful dough. And now we just need to rest this and cover this with a nice moist malmal. And so now we get to the yummier bit of this casserole, which is of course the potato filling. So I'm going to start it into this non-stick. I'm going to be adding oil. We're going to first start off by tempering these mustard seeds. We're going to quickly add our onions. And nicely, very, very nicely, fry this up. I'm now going to add garlic. And now to this, we're going to be adding some chili flakes, bhuna hua zeera ka powder, and of course, coriander powder, some garlic powder, garam masala. Going to give this all a nice stir. And now, over this, a pinch of sugar. I'm going to be adding carrots now. Since there's absolutely no moisture in this, I'm going to be adding a very little bit of water just to get this all started. Okay, and now I'm going to mash the potatoes. This seems to be nicely done. I'm going to be adding our peas, which are already boiled, so you don't need a lot of time with it. Just give this all nice, good stir. I'm going to turn this off and leave it here to cool. So now, just mix this all in. All right, And now I'm just going to roll out our dough. Just roll this out. Very carefully, I'm just going to let it all balance inside here. So it touches the bottom. And now I'm just going to cut the top. I know this is a very irritating sound, but it has to be done. Okay, is press this side into the edge of this pan. So when we take this out, we have that lovely shape. So now that our pie is ready, or our dough is already into the dish, what I'm going to do is put our lovely samosa filling into it. Squish this down. And now, like any good casserole needs a top, that's what I'm going to do. So here it is. So we're just going to seal the edges, and then to make it even prettier, I'm going to take a fork and then just press the edges down. I'm going to give it a milk wash. And we're going to put this into our preheated oven, 180 degrees for 40 minutes. All the best, casserole. This casserole is perfectly baked. So I suggest you take a good look at our recap and come right back.
To make samosa casserole, for the crust, in a bowl add 60 gram all-purpose flour, 60 gram whole wheat flour, 2 tablespoon vegetable oil, 1/4 teaspoon salt and water as required. Mix all the ingredients together and knead it on your tabletop to form a tight dough. Rest the dough for 15 minutes under a wet muslin cloth. For the filling, heat 2 to 3 tablespoon vegetable oil in a pan, add 1 teaspoon black mustard seeds, 1 chopped onion, 1 teaspoon chopped garlic, 1 teaspoon chili flakes, 1 teaspoon roasted cumin powder, 1 teaspoon coriander powder, 1 teaspoon garlic powder, 1 teaspoon garam masala powder, and salt to taste. Stir fry all ingredients and now add 1 to 2 finely chopped carrots, water as required, 50 gram boiled green peas and cook for 5 to 10 minutes. In a separate bowl, mash 1 to 2 boiled potatoes and add the cooked mixture in it. Mix it well. Your filling is ready. Now roll the dough into a thin sheet and place it on the pie mold. Cut off the extra edges and press the dough lightly into the bottom and sides of the pie plate. Fill the crust with prepared filling in the center and lightly tap it with your fingers. Cover it with the rolled dough and lock all the edges. Prick the top layer with a fork and coat it with 1 to 2 tablespoon milk. Now in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius, bake for 40 minutes. Your samosa casserole is ready.
ठंडाई बेसिकली बनती है बादाम, केसर, गुलाब जल, दूध, इलायची और चीनी से. इसे ठंडाई इसलिए कहते हैं because it cools the body in the hot months of summer. आज हम ठंडाई के साथ कुछ अतरंगा करेंगे. Let's give it a twist and make a Thandai Mousse Cake, or rather bake a Thandai Mousse Cake. We're going to start with flour, into which we're going to be adding baking powder or thoda sa soda bicarb, and of course yummy cardamom powder. We're going to leave this to activate. Just stir the soda bicarb and the baking powder and the cardamom powder into this maida or all-purpose flour, and we're going to leave it here onto the side. Now, in this bowl, I'm going to be using dahi or yogurt, and then of course castor sugar and some oil. And now with a nice strong whisk, bring this together. This looks lovely. So into this, I'm going to be adding my vanilla essence. Little at a time, I'm going to be adding our flour. Till you get that smooth consistency that you want without any lumps. This is it. It is beautifully whisked, nicely done, and it has no lumps in it. I'm going to transfer this into this baking tray. So I'm going to butter the pan. That is it. And now I'm just going to put all this batter into this greased baking pan. Now I'm going to bake this in my preheated oven, 180 degrees for 25 minutes or till the cake is completely done. All right, our cake is now ready, or actually oh, lovely. So this is the base of our mousse cake. I'm going to now leave it here to completely cool. अब हम लोग mousse बनाते हैं. अभी mousse बनाने के लिए पहले तो we have to take white chocolate and अच्छी तरह से chop करके रखिए. And so now what we have to do is start with thick cream. So we're going to put this non-stick pan on and we're going to pour the cream into this. You heat this cream really well till you see that it's starting to kind of bubble. So as you can see, our cream has started to bubble, which means it's absolutely perfect for me to add it into the white chocolate. And very quickly, we're going to just whisk it all together. And what you're going to get is a beautiful ganache. Into this, I'm now going to be adding my Thundai, which is the flavor of the cheesecake. So in it goes. This is ready. Now I'm going to start adding the whipped cream to the white chocolate. My whipped cream is lying in the fridge. So now I'm going to take a big bowl. I'm going to pour my Thundai into this big bowl. And now into this, I'm going to be adding our cream. Now, all you do is the flavor of the cheesecake needs to get folded into the cream. This is done. So our cake is absolutely cool. Add our Thandai mousse to this. And now, we're just going to spread this with a spatula. I have here finely chopped almonds and pistachios. So I'm going to just put this all over the cake. So now we're going to put our saffron strands that is going to add flavor and color. So this is it, our Thandai Mousse Cake that I'm going to chill in the refrigerator. I'm going to place this right here in the center. अब बस इसमें थोड़ा भांग स्प्रिंकल करें. I'm just kidding. वैसे अगर आप मिलाना चाहें तो आप मिला सकते हैं. So this is our Thandai Mousse Cake. So let's see how this was made.
To make Thandai Mousse Cake, for the sponge cake, in 200g all-purpose flour, add 1 teaspoon baking powder, half teaspoon baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon cardamom powder and mix it well. In a separate bowl, take 100g yogurt, 100g castor sugar, 60 ml vegetable oil, half teaspoon vanilla essence. Add the activated flour and mix it into a homogeneous batter. Spray 1 to 2 tablespoon butter on the baking container and pour the batter in it. Now in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius, bake for 25 minutes. Your sponge cake is ready. For Thandai mousse, in a separate bowl, take 100g chopped white chocolate and heat 100 ml fresh cream in a pan. Now pour heated fresh cream on the chopped white chocolate cubes and mix it together to form a homogeneous liquid. Add 2 tablespoons Thundai syrup and mix it. Fold 250 ml whipped cream in the mixture and put it on the cake to form a layer. Sprinkle 2 to 3 tablespoons finely chopped almonds and pistachios and half teaspoon saffron strands. Now cool the cake in a refrigerator for 60 minutes. Your Thandai mousse cake is ready.